Okay, good morning. So today, I think my voice is audible. Today we will discuss some more problems in theory of inference. Maybe okay. So the first problem you can see here in the slide: negation Q, comma P implies Q. So this is premises. This is negation P. So directly you can write. Okay, but P implies Q is given premises. From this, if I apply contrapositive, we'll get what? Negation Q implies negation P, and then use the given premises, negation Q, and then this is P. P implies Q. Okay, is Q. So negation P. Okay, the second problem. So demonstrate that S is valid inference from the premise. So P implies negation Q, Q or R, negation S implies P, and negation R. So first I will take Q or R. This is a given premises, that's why I'll put rule P, and then negation R. So that is also rule P. I am using the given premises. And then directly you can get from 1 and 2 negation R and R or Q is what? You can write Q. Okay. R you can write Q or R. Okay, I'll write Q or R. Q or R. And what? Negation R. Negation R. Okay. Now from this you'll get actually Q or R is nothing but negation R or Q. So negation R implies what? Q. Negation R implies Q, and then negation R. Now from this is P. P comma P implies Q is what? Q. So we'll get Q. So that's why we'll get Q here, and then use the given premises. P implies negation Q, and then I12 sorry 3 and 4. 3 and 4 means yes. So Q. Okay, if I first you should apply what? First you should apply contrapositive. Okay. First you should apply. Yes. Here first you should apply contrapositive means what you will get? For P implies negation Q, contrapositive is what? Q implies negation P. So Q comma Q implies negation P is what? Negation P. And then negation S implies P is rule P. Now again you should apply what? Contrapositive for this one. You will get what? Negation P implies what? S. So already here negation P. So negation P implies S is what? S. So that's all. We get the conclusion yes. So this problem is a very simple problem. Okay, show that R or S is a valid conclusion from the premises. So C or D. Okay, C or D is a given premises. C or D implies negation H. That is also rule P. So P comma P implies Q is what? Q. So I am using 1 and 2. Next premises, negation H implies what? A and negation B. So again A comma A implies, sorry, P comma P implies Q is what? Q. A and negation B. I got it. Next premises, A and negation B implies what? R or S. That's a given premises. So P comma P implies Q is Q. Q is what? R or S. Okay, next problem. Okay, actually this problem we already discussed maybe in the previous class, but instead of PQR, maybe I will use some other notations, and the proof also a little bit different. So that's why I want to discuss this problem again, and this is a little bit lengthy. So maybe these types of problem may be asked in the examination. Show that P implies Q and R implies S, comma, Q implies T and S implies U, and then negation of T and U, P implies R. So these are the given premises. So finally we'll get what? Negation P. So first P implies Q and R implies S. This is rule P. So P and Q, you can get what? P as well as Q. So that is a rule. So P is what? P implies Q. Q is what? R implies S. Next, Q implies T and S implies U. This is rule P. So again the same rule. P and Q implies P. P is what? Q implies T. Q is S implies U. Okay. So this is rule T. I am getting 4. Okay. Now from 2 and 5, 2 is what? P implies Q. 5 is Q implies T. So you'll get P implies T. So in 7, P implies T. Apply contrapositive here for 7. So P implies T, contrapositive is what? Negation T implies negation P. And then from 3 and 6, R implies S, S implies U. We'll get what? R implies U. Next, I am going to use P implies R, that is given premises. So P implies R, R implies U is what? Even you can write in the 9th step, P implies R. In the 10th step, you can write what? R implies U, using 3 and 6. So P implies R, R implies U is P implies U. Still, I need to use what? Negation of T and U. Okay. So P implies U. Contrapositive is what? Negation U implies negation P. Next, negation 8 and 12. Because I need to use this one. So that's why I need what? T and U. So the 8 and 12, I have negation T, negation U is here. So both of them imply what? Negation P. So rule, actually this is I14 dash. I14 dash is here. This is I14. This is I14. This is actually I put I15. Originally it was I14 dash only. So I14 dash is the last one. So that is P implies R, comma Q implies R. Okay, is tautologically imply what? P R Q implies R. So the first one is different. The second one is what? Same. Okay, then you have what? P R Q implies R. So I think the same rule here I am using. Okay, 8 and 12. This is P implies R. This is Q implies R. Is equivalent to P. P is what? Negation T. R. Q is what? Negation U implies R. What is R? R is negation P. Here also negation P. So this is the crucial step. Now from here to next, apply De Morgan's law. So negation of T and U implies what? Negation P. Now I am using this premises, negation of T and U. So now P comma P implies Q is what? Negation P. I think I explained already the rule CP. So you can apply. So here they don't give, you should use the rule CP. Okay. Suppose the conclusion is of the form. Okay. Like A implies B. Okay. Then you can apply rule CP. So now here I'm going to apply rule CP, assuming what? R is an additional premises, I'm going to show S. Okay, so show that R implies S can be derived from the premises P implies Q implies S, comma, negation R or P and Q. So it is enough to now to include R is an additional premise and derive S. Okay, now first premises I am choosing negation R or P, that is a rule P, and then I am using what? This R is an additional premises, that is also rule P, additional premises. Now R, comma, negation R P. Okay, R, comma, negation R P. Okay, from this R, comma, from this you have what? P implies R, comma, okay. And then, okay, you should apply negation of negation R is what? R implies what? P. So from this you have R, comma, R implies P is what? P. So that's why you'll get P, or directly you can write. Okay, directly you can write P using what? I10. I10, I will tell you what is I10. I think here I10. Yes, I10 is negation P, comma, P or Q implies what? Q. So suppose here you have what? Here you have P, here you have negation P or Q. So that time also you'll get what? Q. Okay, see here. Here, I think, sorry. Okay, so you should remember I10. So negation P, here P. Or here P, here negation P. In both cases, you will get what? Q. So I think here what, which, I think next one. Yeah. Here you have what? R. Here negation R, P. So I'll get what? P. Even suppose if here negation R, here instead of R, suppose I have what? Negation R. Here what? R or P null, I will get what? P only. Okay. The next rule P. Rule P is, I am using what? P implies Q implies S. Now P, comma, P implies Q is what? Q. What is Q? Q implies S. Next, I'm using this Q. So next Q, comma, Q implies S is what? S. Now, from the given premises and using the additional premises R, I get S. Imply that from the given premises alone, we will get R implies S. So that is what? Rule CP. So again, in this column, this is the given premises. We need to show that what? P implies S. So here I am going to assume what? P is an additional premises. I want to show S. Okay, so negation P or Q. P is an additional premises. As I told already, P, comma, negation P or Q is what? Q. Next, negation Q or R, that is rule P. So again, Q, comma, negation Q or R is what? R. Next, R implies S. So R, comma, R implies S is what? S. So, and hence you will get P implies S using rule CP. So derive P implies Q implies S using the rule CP if necessary from P implies Q implies R, comma, Q implies R implies S. Okay, so now I'll take the given premises P implies Q implies R. Additional premises is P. So now P comma P implies Q is what? Q implies R. And then rule P, next Q implies R implies S. Next from 3, Q implies R, I will get what? Negation Q or R. And then from 4, I will get 6. Q implies R implies S. Okay, so Q implies R implies S is equivalent to negation Q R here. Okay, from 4 to 6. I am getting 6 from 4. So negation Q R R implies S. R implies S here. It is written R implies S. Next, I'm going to use distributive law, but how from 5 and 6? Okay, look at here. Consider this is P. Everything is P. This is Q. So I'll write negation Q or P. Negation Q or P. Sorry, using 5 and 6. Okay, negation Q or R. Negation Q or R. And then negation Q or R in places. R in places. Okay. So actually, this is P, this is Q. So P comma Q implies P comma Q implies P and Q. P and Q means negation Q or R and negation Q or R implies S. So this is the first step. So P comma Q implies P and Q. The next step should apply distributive law. So here and here R R. Okay. So here we have what? Negation Q R. I will take it out. And then R and negation, sorry, R implies S. So here I am using distributive law. So now this is this implies. So I think you can see this one, negation Q R. This step you can see here, negation Q R R and R implies S. Next step from here to here. Okay, I'll get negation Q R. R comma R implies S, or R and R implies S is what? S. So negation Q R, this is what? R and R implies S is what? S. Okay, now negation Q or S is what? Negation of negation Q implies S. So I got Q implies S using what? The given the two premises and using what? Additional premises P, and hence we will get P implies Q implies S from the set of premises alone. So that is rule CP. The next problem. Show that if P implies Q, comma Q implies R, comma negation of P and R and P or R, then R. So 1, 2, 3, 4 premises and one conclusion. So P implies Q, rule P, Q implies R, rule P. So P implies R. From 1 and 2, I will get rule T. So from 3, I have what? Negation P or R. Next, I use P or R. Okay. So now, again, negation P or R. Okay, negation P or R. I will write negation P or R, comma P or R. So P comma Q implies P and Q, P and Q, which is equivalent to here again and here have R. So negation P and P R, because R is common. R is common. So actually this is nothing but false R. This is what R. We will check it. Yes. So from 4 and 5, you have this is P, this is Q. So if we put P and Q and using distributive law, I have this step, sixth step. I explained in the slide. Now this is F. Okay, F or R is what? R. Next, still I don't use negation of P and R, rule P. Apply De Morgan's law here. Negation P or negation R. Now, yes, 7 and 9. This is P, this is Q. So P and Q, R and negation P or negation R. Now apply distributive law, R and negation P or R and negation R. R and negation R is false. False R. R and negation P is what? R and negation P. So now P and Q implies what? P comma Q. So I need only what? R. So that's why I'll write P and Q implies what? P. So R. So that is I need. So that's why I'll stop there. So indirect method also I explained in the previous class. So using indirect method, we will solve some problems. So prove by indirect method, negation Q comma P implies Q comma P or T implies T. So indirect method, you should assume negation of the conclusion is an additional premises. So first P or T I'll take. Negation of the conclusion is what? Negation T. And then negation T comma T or P I'll get what? P. Now P implies Q is a given premises. Now P comma P implies Q is Q. Now negation Q is the given premises, rule P. So now P comma Q implies what? Okay, or Q comma negation Q implies what? Q and negation Q. So this is actually what? False. So this is rule T. The new premises, what is the new premises? Negation T. Okay, together with the given premises leads to a contradiction. So therefore, the given premises implies T. Okay, so negation Q comma P implies Q comma P or T implies T. So instead of proving directly, we are using indirect method of proof. In the indirect method of proof, we are assuming what? Negation of the conclusion is the additional premises, and finally we'll get what? Contradiction. So again, here you can see here, using indirect method of proof, derive P implies negation S from P implies Q or R, comma Q implies negation P, comma S implies negation R, comma P. So using 1, 2, 3, 4 premises, you should get this one, but we need to assume one more additional premises, negation of the conclusion. What is the conclusion here? P implies negation S. So I will come from here. The desired result is what? P implies negation S. They are telling its negation is P and S. Okay, okay. Now I'll start from here. So look at here carefully. So negation of negation of conclusion. Conclusion is what? P implies negation is. Now going this way. So negation is here, and P implies negation S is what? P implies negation S is negation P or negation S. Now from here to here, apply De Morgan's law. So negation of negation is what? P and S. So that's why negation of P implies negation S is what? P and S. But they are writing from in this way, but we don't know the fact here. We are telling its negation is P and S. Initially, we don't know. So that's why we should start from negation of the conclusion is what? P implies negation S. And then we should move from here to here. So negation, keep negation here. P implies negation S is what? Negation P or negation S. From here to here, apply De Morgan's law, P and S. So negation of P implies negation S is what? P and S. You should assume P and S as an additional premises. Okay. So now rule P, first one, P implies Q or R. And then this is also premises, given premises P. So here rule P. Okay, don't confuse with this P and this P. This P is from here in the given premises. This is actually you should write what? Rule P. Okay. Now P comma P implies Q is what? Q or R. Next S implies negation R. That is a rule P. Now I am using the additional premises. It's P and R, P and S here. That is also P, but you should write additional premises or new premises. Better to write additional premises. And then P and S, you can write P comma S. Okay, P. In the next step, you can write S, but I don't need P because already I have P. Okay, that's why they are writing only what? S. Now next, from 4 and 6, okay, or 6 and 4. S comma S implies negation R is what? Negation R. Next, 3 and 7. Okay, so 7 and 3, negation R, R or Q, you'll get what? Q. Next, Q implies negation P. I don't use Q implies negation P. Now Q comma Q implies negation P is what? Negation P. So already I have what? P. So P and negation P is what? Contradiction. So actually, one of my students yesterday, he's asked in this type of problem, so he will get F somewhere in the middle. Maybe he used 1 or 2 premises, but he don't use what? The remaining premises. He got somewhere else, here itself contradiction. Sir, I got the contradiction without using the remaining 1 or 2 premises. What I can do? One student asked. Another student, one step ahead, he went. He got the contradiction without using 1 or 2 given premises, and he put what? F and the premises which he is not using. Okay, so he will put F and for example, he is not using S implies negation R. So F and S implies negation R is what? Always F. So again he is applying F and P. So again F. Okay, it is logically maybe correct, but you'll lose the mark. So you will get the contradiction. Maybe you are using all the premises only. You should get the contradiction. So that is a way you need to do. Because here I used all the premises, and finally I get what? Contradiction. Okay, so thus additional premise P and S, and the given premise premises, thus the additional premise P and S and the given premises together lead to a contradiction. So negation of P and S. Don't write here negation of P and S. Better to write what is the conclusion. P implies S. P implies negation S. So here you should write what? Instead of negation P and S, P implies negation S. You should write this one. P implies negation S is derived from the given premises. Okay. So next problem, using indirect method of proof, show that P implies Q, comma Q implies R, comma negation of P and R, comma P or R implies R. Okay. So this problem usually I have actually this problem has some little bit a slight. I have a doubt. Okay. Okay. I will tell you what is the problem here. So the desired result is what? R. The desired result is R. So now I need to use how many premises? 1, 2, 3, 4 premises. I should get what? R using indirect method of proof. Okay. So desired result is R. Include negation R as a new premise. So Q implies R is one of the premises. Negation R is what? That is additional premises. Now, so apply contrapositive to 1. 1 is what? Q implies R means what? Contrapositive means what? Negation R implies negation P. So now, here you have what? Negation R. If you apply contrapositive, you have what? Negation R, command negation R implies negation Q. So now negation R, comma, negation R implies negation Q is what? Negation Q. Or directly you can write also Q implies R, negation R, comma negation R implies what? Negation Q. That is up to you. Now rule P. P implies Q. This is a new premises. Now again, P implies Q, comma negation Q is what? Negation P you can write. Or you can apply contrapositive and then you can get what? Negation P. P or R. This is rule P. Now negation P, comma P or R is what? R. Now R and negation R will get a contradiction. So yesterday my student asked a doubt. I think just now I shared to you. The same problem is coming here. So still I don't use one of the premises. Which premises? Negation of P and R. Without using that premises, I am getting what? Contradiction. So thus we get a contradiction. Therefore, we get they have finished the problem. So we note that the other premises negation of P and R will not yield a connection with R. So this is somewhat I can't agree with this problem. Suppose we can't ask this problem in the examination because the students may be confused. Because everybody is told that, every professor told that you should apply, you should use all the premises in, okay, then only finally you will only get the contradiction. But here without using one of the premises, I am getting the contradiction. So these type of problems I don't expect in the examination point of view. Maybe this may be correct, but still this may be correct, but I don't know exactly. If any one of them use negation of P and R, okay, and if you get contradiction, you can send me the solution. I will check it. Okay, now next topic is verbal arguments. So I will stop here. Maybe in the next class I will finish verbal arguments. Already I discussed the PPT. So this problem is I took from Venkatraman book. Maybe still we have 12 more slides. Okay, yeah, 2001. Oh, yes. So in the next class I will finish verbal validity of verbal arguments, and then I will start the last section, quantify. Maybe in one more class I will take for theory of inference. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Otherwise, you can leave.